like cracking open some Cokes, having a Freddo, and like celebrating, like thank God we survived another week. Anyway, knock on the. No, I think the door literally, because they're like electric doors, like beep beep shut, and then knock on the door. One of the runners, Priyesh, you need to come back in, and they grab him out, take his bag out the boot, and he's back in the boardroom. And we're like, oh my God, like didn't even know that was possible.
Hi, I'm Priyesh. Thank you so much both for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm very excited.
Really excited, yeah.
It's a real privilege to have you here. So before we start, I just want you to tell us about who you are, your journey to becoming entrepreneurs, and why you decided to go on the Apprentice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you go first.
So I'm Harry. I'm 27, live in London. I'm actually from Scotland originally, but obviously you can't tell that with my accent. But I have, like, to be honest, I've been starting businesses since I was like 13. None of them really very successful, but I've had like I've probably started 15 businesses or something crazy like that. And I've always just loved it. I just think like being able to, I'm really bad at listening to like instructions. I'm much better at finding my own way of doing it. And so entrepreneurship was always like, I want to do it. And I think that's always been something I want to do. The Apprentice was something that I just thought it sounded really cool. And I always just saw the tasks and things like that. I was like right up my street, and just I get really bored, so I was like, it sounds like such a fun thing to do, such a cool thing to do, why not apply? And I did, and here we are.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so I'm Priyesh, I'm 29 years old, turning the big 30 this year. But yeah, exactly, soon. But yeah, no, so yeah, to be fair, I live in Northwest London, and I thought for my journey is very different because I've never been proper an entrepreneur. More or less, it happened after COVID. So after COVID, basically, we're at home, everything was shut down. There's no, like, pubs, bars, I couldn't see any of my friends and stuff. So then I started making drinks at home and whatnot, and then started posting photos on Instagram. And then I started getting bookings for for my mobile cocktail bar business, the Apologist, and one thing led to another. And then I was like, ooh, I love this. Like, I love the fact that I could be my own boss, I could decide on everything. And then, I just thought, let me see if I can make this more into successful business or more of a side hustle, but like elevate it more. But at the same time, I was still working at the Big Four. So I was working at the typical corporate job at KPMG, then moved across to PwC. And then, yeah, there was a time where I was in transition between the two jobs. And I just thought, let me just apply for the show. And I just didn't think much of it because this is a proper family show at home. I've been watching it for the last 10, 15 years. On a Thursday night, we used to get takeaway. My mum, my dad, and sister just watch it and see all these people make fool of themselves on TV.
And that's you.
And that's us. That's literally us. But you know what? It is one of those ones where like I'm so glad I did it, and I would just don't regret it.
That's incredible. And I know for both of you that both of you have probably been on different journeys, but both working in the workplace and then also becoming entrepreneurs. So particularly for it's a question for both of you, but also off the back of what you've said.
Yeah.
Priyesh, how did you kind of manage that? Because you have your drinks business,
yeah,
you have your work business, you're trying to make them both boom, and then the same thing for you because you've started your own company as well.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And I think we were actually very similar because we both quit our jobs to go on the show, which a lot of people don't think did. But yeah, we were both in corporate jobs, and I was working for a company called Octopus Investments doing they put me on the show as a finance manager, which is not what I am or was. I was doing financial sales. So it's like every time I say, I'm like, I think they just want me to be the posh like finance guy, which I'm the posh guy, but I'm not the finance guy. And anyway, so I quit my job to go on the show, but I was planning on leaving at some point anyway. And I had a very lucky arrangement. I'd been there for 4 years, but they let me go off before to start a business and given me funding for it and all that sort of stuff. So they weren't surprised when I left. But yeah, I think we both quit our jobs, which was, when we got back off the show, it was filmed in May, so it was quite a long time ago. It was kind of like, oh my God, like, what do I do now? Like, the job's gone. Like, obviously I've got my business, but that's not making money for me to live. Yeah. And like, so it was a big like leap of faith, and like, I don't regret it at all. It was amazing. And I think sometimes you do need that just to push you over the edge. So you could just end up in, some people love a corporate job, but you could end up in a corporate job for the rest of your life and sort of just going through the motions and not enjoying it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, agreed. And like, putting on to that, I was obviously the corporate job is good. You go out of university, blah blah blah. You find a job, but for me, I was getting no satisfaction. I was moving from one job to another, and it was good, 9 to 5, good money, whatever.
You're getting paid loads.
Yeah,
I was getting a lot more than I was.
I was getting paid for good money and whatnot, but there was no satisfaction. Like I used to come back, I was like, done. Wake up, go to the office, come back, go to the gym, come back, repeat, and there was no like satisfaction. There was no happiness in what I was doing. And then obviously I was like, okay, I really want this to work. Obviously go on the show, promote my business as well, but then also at the same time it gave me that opportunity to then take it one level further. Now I was saying, okay, I've got that extra scale, that extra mindset. Okay, now I know what I want to do. And obviously you go through life navigating obstacles and things like that, because you don't know, like at the age of 21 so I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know, let's just go to a corporate job, whatever, or go to, whether you're doctor, nurses and things like that. So it was just navigating through, and now I know what I want to do, and then obviously things have come out of it from being on the show.
It's incredible. So for both of you, even before we go more into The Apprentice, how has the show kind of helped you both in building your business and also giving you visibility that you might not otherwise have gotten?
Yeah, I think firstly is like we met 19 other entrepreneurs. Yeah, which like we always spoke about was like a lot of my friends are corporate, or they do something that's like nothing to do with what I want to do, and so it's really hard to like have people to speak to about that sort of stuff. Like even if it's like Canva or like how to market something, or how to like do an Instagram ad. And so I think that is like, and obviously I met Priyesh, like, and we've started a podcast and all that sort of stuff. So like there's all these amazing things that have come from that, and they are like, there's some epic business people on the show. Like, and I know we all look like idiots most of the time, but people are switched on in their day to day and have like incredible businesses. So I think that was one of the biggest things for me, is like having those connections, having that help. Because like even me and Priyesh, we've helped each other a lot in what we've been trying to do. He'll help me with my business, even if it's like I'll help him go film somewhere for his business, or he'll help me film, or I'll show him how to do something, he'll show me how to do it. So that's obviously that, and then it's TV, it's fun.
No, exactly. No, bang on. So like all those skills that you learn from one another is just so adaptable. Like for example, even after the show, I've never used things like Linktree, Canva. Like I've never used those properly, and obviously Harry taught me how to do all that. And it's one of those skills that you will always remember, because these are all entrepreneurs. They all want their businesses to grow. And all my friends, for example, they have the corporate job. I actually don't know, like prior to the show, like a friend that's an entrepreneur, or that I could ask help for, or how do you do this, how do you do that? Because as an entrepreneur, you're doing everything by yourself, especially when you're starting up. Like, for example, I have to find my own clients. I have to design my own menus. Obviously, I have to make my own drinks. I have to then source the drinks. I have to then find all the garnishes, the glassware, finding the mobile bar. Like, obviously, because I'm not at that scale yet to, like, obviously give it to people. But it's like you have to navigate through all this yourself, and you don't know if you're doing it right, you're doing it wrong. And it's just nice to have talked to people and bounce off ideas. And I think that's what the show allows you to do. Like, fine, everyone has different businesses. Fine, people, however they see on TV, might not come across great or whatever, but it's nothing like that. People are great, and people are like good entrepreneurs at the end of it.
Yeah,
I think that's incredible, because like one thing I like to touch on is, on The Apprentice Unfinished Business, particularly with regards to you, Harry, they've talked about your lack of visibility.
Yes, absolutely.
The famous lack of visibility.
No, I've been getting a lot of this recently, and I don't blame people. And to be honest, it's annoyed me to a certain extent, but now I've got to the point where like just accept it. You can't control it. And I think I got asked on a podcast the other day about it, and it was like, you're not doing anything, and I always get the comments like, you're useless, you're not there, and I'm like, I was there. I just think like I firstly didn't like, we don't really cause any drama on the show. We're not the sort of people who like butt heads or like have that sort of, we get on with people, and that's great, but it's obviously bad TV. And then I honestly don't know. I think like I was very happy with how much I contributed on the show, but obviously that hasn't been mirrored on the show. But I'm PM tonight, there's some PM. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of me.
Team as well,
we're on the same team, and you know what? You not everyone's going to get shown all the time, and I was very grateful for the experience. I wish I had more camera time, but everyone wishes different things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just to put on to that, obviously I know you gave loads of ideas and stuff, and I just think, you know what, it is an entertainment show at the end of the day, so they need to show obviously fun stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not really Dragon's Den and stuff like that. It's more like, let's just see how we can, you know, add on extra values. Obviously you're giving good value, but not fun, not drama stuff.
But I've been enjoying it now, because I was sort of, it was getting to me, and now I'm just like, you know what, these comments, I'm on TikTok, I get quite a lot of comments just like, who are you? I've never seen you before. Like, I'm like, week 6, it's week 6 and you haven't seen me. And so now I'm just having a bit of fun with it, but yeah.
And this is a question I've asked a lot of people in general, which is about the audition process.
Yeah.
So just talk to me about it, and, you know, how did you both find your audition process? And even more than that, how did you two become friends? Because I don't think a lot of people know the story.
Well, yeah, the audition process was, I ain't gonna lie, was savage. It was absolutely like hard, like especially the first one. I remember it as being Squid Games. Oh, wow. Literally, I call it as Squid Games because obviously, not to say much about the process, but for example, in stage 1, you're in a room. You need to they want you to think on your feet quickly. Then they decide if you go through the next stage or not, and then you have to go up the elevator. And then if you know you're going up the elevator, that means you pass through stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And for me, I remember walking into this thinking, when I got the email saying, you're invited to the first selection day, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm always on it.
Yeah, literally, I was like, one step closer. Far from it. You enter, you go to the studio, not studio, but you go to the offices for that selection day for stage 1, and I see this whole queue. I was like, oh my God, is this for the Apprentice? I was like, crikey, this is, okay, fine.
It makes your heart drop, doesn't it?
And I was like, okay, I have no chance now. Yeah. And then obviously it got through that first bit of stage 1. This is stage 1, but stage 1. Then I was like, okay, then you go through the second bit of stage 1. Then the third bit. Then I was like, oh my God, it's so intense. I was like, whatever. Even after stage 1, I ain't gonna get it. One thing led to another. Then you get through various stages, and then boom, you got it. And because the more you go through these stages, the more you want it. Yeah. And I was like, I really want this now.
And you think you're there.
Yeah.
But because I actually applied 3. This was the 3rd time I applied, and so 80,000 people applied this year, which is like a crazy number. But and what Priyesh was saying, you get there and you think there's going to be like 20 people, and you're like, I'm almost there. But there's I think they have like 3,000 people that day.
Yeah, and then there's like loads of days as well.
There's loads of days around
and Manchester, Birmingham, and all these offices that they have it in.
And so I obviously did it 3 times. So I knew after the first time basically what was going to happen throughout. But the first 2 years before, I always got to like the last stage basically before getting on the show. It was like the last probably 200 people, which is still a lot of people, but in the grand scheme of things against the 80,000, it's not bad. And then this was like, I was like, this is the last year I'm going to apply. Because I did enjoy, it's terrifying. It does prepare you for the show, because it makes you're so nervous, you're on edge, you don't know what's coming next, and you have to really think on your feet and also impress. And it's exactly the same as the show, but so the show's more glamorous, obviously, because you're kind of going around in these nice cars, and Baroness Brady's there, Tim whatever. Yeah. And so it's kind of really unfiltered, gritty, scary times. But I think it helped. I think, and the same as the show, is it teaches you so much, because it makes you perform under stress. Even if you don't get on the show, going through that process was oh my God, it's actually, it puts you into a higher level of work rate, I suppose, because you kind of think on your feet and that stress.
It's the intensity is above another level, because you're running on high adrenaline, for example, whether it's lack of sleep or X, Y, and Z, because there's 8, 9, 10 hours of filming. Plus the fact is you need to perform on every task. If you're not performing, get booked back, you're fired. And at the same time, it's you need to think on your feet straight away as well, because you might have to design a logo, tagline, colours, or it might be something completely different where you need to come up with a game, or you need to come up with an advertising campaign or whatnot. It is a lot, and people don't realise this. No one is from that world of you've done this before, you've done this. You might have done an element to this of branding, marketing, or something like that, or someone's done something else, but you've never done this before, so this is all new to us. And then you have to it's about thinking on your feet, how to be adaptable and respond to situations, essentially.
Yeah, and I think back to your question about how do we become friends, because I think also it's so one of the hard things about the show is you get put in there, 20 people at the beginning, and you obviously make friends, but then you have to compete against each other.
Yeah.
And what's worse is actually when you're on the same team, because that you actually compete against each other more on the same team than you do if you're on a different team, because if you lose, one of you is getting fired. But we met actually straight out Boardroom 1.
Yeah.
You go in there, you can't speak to anyone really. You just go in the boardroom, you speak to Lord Sugar, and everyone gets spoken to and speaks to him. But we got put in the same car to drive around, and they actually didn't show any of it. But you ask questions and talk about Hong Kong and how excited you are, all that sort of stuff.
Your name, your business, blah blah blah, where you're from, and all that. Just like a typical introduction, but
didn't get shown. But but we were in the same room in the house, so there was us. There was 5 of us. It was me, Dan, Priyesh, Lawrence, and Connor. And it was such a good room. It was hilarious, and like we were kind of like the less alphas of the boys.
Oh, the other boys,
and the other boys' room was like quite the more alpha.
It was like alpha versus the other one, but our room I think was like 10 out of 10. Like it was like our safe spot. Like you could come back from the task, you could literally, obviously it's all off camera, so you could just literally debrief. Let out all your anger, let out all your frustration. This person did this person did this. I'm annoyed, or X, Y, and Z. And we just everyone used to just back each other up. And it was just one of those times where, like, I remember in the evenings and stuff, like maybe Connor used to go to bed earlier than me, and then it was followed by, for example, like Harry and Dan. Then me and Lawrence used to come a lot later, and then we used to just keep everyone up, giggling away, talking about stories, and just like laughing. And it was literally the best time ever. For me, it felt like a uni experience.
Yeah,
like you're living with friends, having a good time. Obviously, you need to competing with one another, but it was one of those experiences I'm never going to get back again. And I wish I was still living in that house with the boys, just chatting away, because you miss all that.
And I do think
you miss all the banter.
Yeah, when it's over, it's like it's so sad. It's like you just suddenly, it's like leaving when you leave school or saying you just don't you go through every day with your mates, and then suddenly where my mate's gone. And it is sad.
It's like going to a nice all-inclusive holiday and then coming back home.
Gotta get back to work the next day.
Monday morning meetings. But it was incredible. And I think that's how we became friends. Obviously you spend a lot of time with one another throughout the weeks, but I think that's where the bond came from. And also,
we weren't on a team that much. So
yeah, exactly. So we didn't have to. Yeah, that was a big benefit actually. And then obviously the friendship grew more because obviously we left the show as well. We obviously didn't have our jobs as well. So we're like, let's focus on something. Let's create a plan. And then one thing led to another. And I just think we obviously bounced off well. And we love the fact that we had the same interest and the same ambition.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a lot of that with a lot of people. Like even my friends and stuff, they all have different ambitions in different lives, but as entrepreneurs we all have that one ambition, and that's one thing that we could bounce each other off.
That is actually incredible. And even having been at your your apprentice watch party, to see how well it was attended,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
phenomenal. So talk to me about the Elephant and Barrel Pub. How you set it up.
Yeah, for sure. So, so the Elephant and Barrel Pub, so it's run by myself, my neighbour, and one of our other business partners. And we obviously have, our first site was in Fulham, and then we grew that brand and opened a second site in Felixstowe. And then there's a new site in Cricklewood, and then now a new site that's going to be opened up in Stockwell. So the main one's going to be our Stockwell site, a flagship one, because it's got a large beer garden of 150 people. Hopefully it's going to be opened up just before the World Cup. And we're actually doing a partnership with Heineken on this. So straight after the show, actually, this is what led me to get this project was, okay, I knew what I wanted to do in life now, and which was definitely going back into corporate world. I was like, okay, I want to work with my neighbour because they were already involved. I want to get involved in the pub side of the business, because I obviously want to have a bar business. I love hospitality, I love food, I love drinks, and and I love hosting events. And I just thought, okay, let's find a new site for the Stockwell. Let's find a new site, sorry. And then this Stockwell one came up. I was just searching online randomly. And what people don't realise is, how did you get it? And obviously, I kept on ringing Heineken. I kept on badgering them, let's set up a meeting, let's set up a call. And then there was a whole process, because you have to write a business case, because there was about 5-6 other competitors competing as well. And obviously, they love the concept. And our concept is basically bringing the culture of British pubs to Indian heritage, essentially. So we're not mixing like Indian food, English food. We're having some twists and turns. We're still keeping the pub vibe, but also bringing that Indian heritage, because we think it's a very good cultural mix to blend the two cultures together.
Curry pie.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially, so this Stockwell project came about, and we thought, wow, it's going to be a really good one, especially, Stockwell's an up-and-coming area. It's a couple of stops from Green Park, from Euston. It's like, where the youngsters are living right now, because obviously of rent prices as well. And, the size is really good. And we thought we could offer a really good offering around the area. And obviously one thing led to another, and we won the project. So now, hopefully, it's going to be open by end of May, early June. So make sure everyone comes to the opening night. But yeah, no, that was the main aim of our goal. And obviously the main highlight is, as you would know, is we got probably the only pub in the whole of the UK that's robotic-sized elephant.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The elephant is insane.
So yeah, it moves, it squirts water.
Why wasn't it squirting water?
Oh, well, to be fair, I mean...
It normally does. I've done it.
It does it, but we didn't want any of the guests to get wet last week. And obviously, and to be fair, that was our first elephant. Now it's upgraded in terms of, you know, like how like a laptop or phone gets upgraded in models.
iOS.
Yeah, so now the elephant's got a new model where apparently it can speak apparently now.
Really?
So, so we've ordered that and it comes all the way from Kerala. So it's on shipment right now, actually, for the pub. So, so it'll be our 4th elephant. So we need to come up with a name for that because the first one's called Jumbo, the other one's called Felix. So we need to think of a new brother or sister for the elephant. But
competition for the name. When I was at your viewing party, I turned around and Kieran was trying to jump on
I
the
know.
elephant. I was like...
That's the thing, like, obviously it's a centerpiece, and at the end of the day, we're gonna, like, do you know, like, during the World Cup, Christmas, we're gonna cover it with, like, the World Cup, like, the England flag. Or we're gonna, like, in Christmas time, we're gonna put, like, a big Santa hat on it. Or, like, you know, different celebrations and stuff. So that's the aim. And obviously the vision is to then expand the pubs across cities, across UK. We really want to have, like, one across, like, you know, a countryside pub, one in Manchester. Because that's what we feel like a new market is, where you want a pub, but at the same time, you want to go to, like, a nice bar, but at the same time, you want to relax. So we're going to create that sort of ambience. And also we've got, like, outside food truck, outside bar. I'll be doing all my special cocktails out there as well. So it's quite a mixture of offerings.
Amazing. And also in your business, Make My Day.
Yeah, wow, I've got a new business now.
What is it?
Called Harry Can't Sit Still. So it's effectively a focus drink for people with ADHD. And Priyesh helped me with lots of stuff of it and stuff like that. It's very exciting actually. I'm very excited about it. But
so good.
It's a powder drink effectively. It's like a coffee substitute made with matcha, lion's mane and different ingredients. So that's my current focus at the moment. But Make My Day was a food and drink subscription box. So you basically sign up with your details about yourself. You get a box every month for free, and it was like a marketing tool for brands. So yeah, that's basically. I can't really stop making businesses. I need to stop.
That's the entrepreneur in him. So nice. You've got the drive, mate. You've got the drive, which is good.
We'll see, but yeah.
So Harry, please tell me about your brand. Harry Can't Sit Still.
Yeah, Harry Can't Sit Still. So this is it. So it's a matcha super blend for people with ADHD. So it's a focus drink for people with ADHD, and it's got lion's mane, which is a functional mushroom. So it's like really good for brain function and like clarity. Magnesium, which is magnesium and L-theanine. There's anti-stress and like calming features. The electrolytes obviously hydrate you, and matcha has long, slow release caffeine. So it's got about half the amount of caffeine as a coffee, but it slowly releases as well. So you don't have a crash. It's like for all-day focus, and it's not just for people with ADHD, but that's who I had in mind when I built it. And it's comes in sachets. So
and it definitely works. I've had it before as well.
Yeah, Priyesh is a big advocate for it. And,
helps me focus.
Delicious.
Thank you so much, Harry, just for talking about that product. And do you have a plan of where you're going to scale it, where you're going to sell it, or? Yeah,
so I'm currently in a few shops. So I was just doing a sampling yesterday in a shop, and I'm planning on going to try get it into a lot more, but online. So I'm trying to go big on TikTok Shop. It's been an absolute nightmare getting on TikTok Shop. Don't know why, but some lovely guy on LinkedIn just randomly helped me out of the blue, and he probably gave me like 6 or 7 hours worth of help, which was so kind. Like, and that's
power of LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes I hate LinkedIn. I'm like, everyone's just bragging on this thing, but actually sometimes.
I literally did that yesterday.
That's it.
My post yesterday. Still talk about last week's win.
I didn't want to mention you, but that's my prime example. But so it's a minefield. As you know, it's like the same with every business, but it's like, where do you focus not all your time, but how to focus your time is really hard, and that's what I'm struggling with at the moment, because I'm like, right, I need to do Instagram, I need to do TikTok, I need to do marketing on that, I need to do in-person like sampling, I need to do shops, I need to do where do you go? So there's so many different avenues, or you can also get lost in it all. So yeah, just trying to work it out, to be honest. It's been out for only since the 5th of January, so it's pretty new, but yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I think I was getting good feedback and things like that, so which is great. Yeah.
I think what's incredible about both of you two, and I can see why you're friends, but also I think your stories will resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Your story, Priyesh, you're this person working in a professional environment.
Yeah.
Can't find purpose within the working world.
Exactly.
So you start something that brings the Indian community together.
Yeah.
The British community together.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I was at, the Elephant and Barrel pub, to see people of all different ethnicities having the time of their life. Yeah. Your staff, diverse. Yeah. I mean, it's just a credit to who you are. And then Harry, to create something like this, I want the camera to see this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For those with ADHD, and giving those who are many workers who might have ADHD a chance to have a drink that they enjoy.
Yeah.
But also something that's not going to trigger any negative symptoms, I think is also quite powerful.
That's the thing, and I think with ADHD, it's like, it is a superpower. Like, it is great, but you have to harness it in the right way, because otherwise it can really take over your life and make it quite difficult. And I think that's why I was looking for something like this, because I need, and it's not like a magic pill. It's not a limitless pill. It's not like you take that and then, millionaire next week. But like, I think it helps people get more into. Because, when you start, like, if you're in a corporate job, which I was, and you start performing badly and you can't work, and then you start spiraling, and it affects your whole life, because then, like, mentally you're not feeling good, and then you're not performing well, so you might get fired, or you might not get a pay rise, all those sort of things. And it's it's really annoying, because as it happened, like, I've had it my whole life, but you feel like you're just falling behind everyone else. And so I wanted to find something that would help me not, like, get me closer to the goal that I wanted, and I still haven't reached it, but like, that's the sort of the ethos of it.
And even coming from both the backgrounds that you do, how did you kind of embrace your identity so it became like a superpower, as opposed to being something that could hold you back? Because I know, even coming from an ethnic minority background myself, sometimes we can go through different types of things because of our backgrounds. And in your case, I have people, in my family who might have, who are neurodiverse. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the stigma that's attached to them, even though a lot of them are way smarter than I am. Yeah. Way more brilliant than me. So just in a more kind of intimate way to get to know you, and also to inspire others. Yeah. From your backgrounds. Just want to try and open up just a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the issue I feel like, especially with agents and stuff, is that they have that thing where you need to go into, like, you do your degree, go to college, then do your degree, find a job and stuff like that. But no one ever says, like, you don't say, like, an Asian parent will never say, why don't you start your own business at the age of 16, 17? They want you to go through all that, and then they might say, oh, you could do it. But I wish, like, for example, my plan is for people to realize is, start young, doesn't matter, like, for example, I know parents say this, but if you've got a vision, you've got an idea, just do it. Because from a young age, I actually always wanted to have my own, like, restaurant, my own bar or something like that, but just, it was never, A, it might not be feasible, but B, they were just saying, oh, but it might not work, it might work. And at the same time, I feel like I got to a point where now I know what I wanted to do. So I was just like, okay, I know I really want my own business, and I should have followed my passion at the age of 16, 17, and then I could have had more of these. But it's just telling people, you don't need to follow every route that everyone takes. The route is determined by you rather than anyone else. And if you follow everyone else, you're not going to succeed. So I felt like I should have just followed my own path. I should have just done my own route, what I wanted to do, rather than just, pleasing everyone or be listening to others. Obviously, it's nice to take people's advice. But at the same time, if you've got an idea, you've got something you do, start it. Obviously, it might work, it might not work, but it's better to start now than never. It's better to start now than wait till it's too late.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And I think I'm not, like, from a minority background, and I'm obviously not going to pretend I am, because I'm a white British male who sounds posher than the king. But I think my life's very weird, because I lived a very privileged life to, like, the age of about 16. My dad was a lawyer. He was a very good lawyer. My mum was a lawyer, but she stopped working to look after me and my brother. But then my parents basically lost everything, and, like, they effectively lost all their money. We had to move out of my house. Like, I wasn't homeless, but I didn't have a bedroom. My mum went to go live with one of her friends. My parents got divorced. And it was just like, from that on, it was just nothing. So I've lived this, like, very lucky to live life until that point. And then suddenly there was nothing. And, I had to very much fend for myself, because my mum was going through a lot. My dad was going through a lot. And that was the sort of situation. And I think, like, it taught me that, like, I need to build something that I want to do, I'm interested in, but also like my mum's having to rebuild her life now still, and sadly my dad passed away a few years ago. Otherwise I was trying to help him, and he like, you know, it was all just a bit of a mess, and I was like, this is my chance to firstly have a stamp on the world, but also like I would love nothing more than to help my mum like retire and pay off her mortgage and stuff like that. And that to me is not a privilege, but it's a real goal that I'm excited for. When I could have easily gone down the other route of just being a spoiled rich kid and you know, being out here like, you know, I just coasting through life and not have those reasons. So I think like it's very different, obviously, and I've never found like ADHD as I've never been like not persecuted is probably the wrong word, but like I've never found it as someone having a stigma against me, or at least to my face. Maybe they do behind my back, but I think it just makes life a bit harder in a lot of situations.
I think that both your stories are so powerful, even with you opening up about your parents splitting up. Like you might think that you're posher than a king, but a lot of young people who have, you know, seen their parents split up will be able to resonate with your story.
Yeah, and it's I mean, it's tough, but it's sadly happens a lot. It's not uncommon, but yeah, appreciate that.
I just hope that The Apprentice shows you more on TV.
Yes, so do I. Give me some Priyesh's screen time. He's getting loads.
I don't think I get that much.
He's getting loads, mate.
The whisking,
oh my god,
the spoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my
give
god.
Me 50%, mate, even just like a minute of yours. That's it.
This has been chaotic for me, but they're like, I just been too chaotic. Well, I just still think that was a good idea.
And one of the biggest wins that you've had was your time as PM.
Oh yeah.
Tell me all about it. You know.
Yeah.
Egypt, the triple firing, which even shocked me.
Yeah. Oh, did it?
Please just tell me all about it.
Well, Egypt. Oh yeah. Where do I start? Well, when we heard it was Egypt and it was a corporate away day to do with events, I was like, perfect task for me, because like I always host events, especially when it comes to food, drink side of things, giving like, you know, showing clients how to have a good time. I was doing it in my corporate job. I even do it in my mobile bar business, even at the pub and stuff like that. So this was like the perfect task for me. So I was just like, I have to put myself forward, and obviously the team backed me and stuff. And then obviously I was just like, I had a vision in mind. Obviously went to do all the food tasting and stuff, and I was like, okay, let me be smart. Let's reduce the portion sizes as well, because the portion sizes were quite big. It's a profit task at the end of the day. The client will never know. So that day went all well. Had a good negotiation on the coffee as well. Literally haggled with her so much, which didn't get shown for some reason. I was so upset because we were going backwards and forwards, and then until she eventually agreed. And obviously I left the other team in charge of the tour, and obviously they had a bit of a pickle in terms of the, you know, negotiation and stuff, but that's fine. And obviously the kitchen day was a bit chaotic. And obviously the kitchen day, obviously I wasn't following, like obviously with Levi with the parsley and all that sort of stuff, and then me.
That scene is the best scene so far in The Apprentice. I mean, that is absolutely.
And then obviously with like me just cooking up a concoction of like whatever, because I mean it's like with anyone, like an Indian house, so that's what you do anyway. No one bloody follows the recipe. They just add whatever, and obviously I made it too spicy, which obviously maybe for my liking it was good, but obviously for the guest it wasn't. They like the flavors, and obviously then we had to cook on the desert, which was absolutely unreal. Like to this day, I wish I could relive that whole task, because even to this day, it's my favorite task. Not obviously because I was PM, but just the whole overall, like it was so much fun.
I think PM would have almost ruined. I mean, being PM is the smooth. The show's stressful. Being PM is like double as stressful.
Exactly, and yeah, exactly.
And I because I went, it didn't show, but I went for PM in Egypt and I got 0 votes. Shock.
But I think to be fair,
Meg was much better person to go for it. But that I was like, actually, when I got back to the hotel room, I was like, thank God.
And that one, to be fair, like we didn't know it was good. We knew there was a big one happening. Like it was like we could feel it in the house, like producers and everyone. Like I think we heard it from someone's gonna be like, we overheard of something like that. It's gonna be a big one. So at that point, I already knew I was going to be gone even if I was PM, but I'd rather go out with a bang and I put myself forward for the task I wanted. And I think what helped was me taking accountability for that mistake. So going over to the guest, apologising for X, Y, and Z. Obviously, the rice pudding was undercooked, which I don't know. Obviously, that was my bad as well. But, yeah, like I think that's what helped. Help get less refunds compared to the other task, to the other team. Sorry. So just taking that ownership, accountability, and obviously I'm from the hospitality world, so I know, like, imagine you having a bad meal or something, you would want your waiter or you would want the general manager to come up and apologize and give you a discount on the menu food, or something like that. So I already knew it from an upbringing because my dad's in hospitality and all that sort of stuff. So I learned all those skills from a young age. So obviously I thought, let me take ownership. It was my fault at the end of the day, no one else's, and I think that's what helped us led to the win. But yeah, that boardroom day, I mean, waking up in the house, for the ballroom, I think I've never felt ever scared. Like, I already had my bags all packed. And yeah, obviously, I knew I was going to be a goner because I thought the other team did all right. And then obviously we won, and I was just, the sight of relief was amazing. I thought Boardroom 2 was bad, but this was worse. After getting called back in. That was bad, but this was worse.
Wow. And when, Lord Sugar called the house and he told you that no one will be coming back, what was the reactions going through both your heads?
I was pretty gutted, to be fair, because I was really good mates with Meg. In fact, I was good mates with all of them. Carrington was great. Andrea, but like, Meg was like one of my best mates in the house. And it was just sad. It's literally like, and I love them all. Like, when you lose anyone, it is gutting because you just feel so, I don't know, you just miss them. And like, also, if you're like super close to them, and like, I actually like was think like 3 of them is crazy. So it's like, that's like kind of like no one's safe. But it feels like, it's like when you watch like Love Island and it's like crying when someone goes and you're like, that's pathetic. But actually it's like that in real life. You're like, because you form these bonds and they're so close and then suddenly they're gone and you can't see them.
Exactly. And also the problem is, imagine the house was full with 19 candidates. There was 18 candidates that entered in the house. And then obviously week after week, one by one. But then when this triple one came, obviously the house is completely dead.
More space in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a good thing. More space, but no one's going to do our washing. Andrea used to do all our washing and stuff, which was nice. But yeah, no, the house felt awfully quiet. And then it just, then we knew that the process got real. Like, it turned it up a notch. Like, no one is safe. Like, literally, it doesn't matter. Even if you make one silly mistake, you could be gone. So then everyone realised they need to put themselves forward. You need to then obviously do X, Y, and Z to, win the task and survive, essentially.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and the thing is, not people realize is in the house, obviously people don't realize you don't have phones and stuff. We don't have phones. Our phones are taken off us. Our wallets are taken off us. Like, we don't have money. There's no time in the house. There's no watches. So we just relied upon all of us, just talking to each other. And I remember, like, the only thing you could talk to about is, like, our lives, family life, entrepreneur life. So that's how you form so much tight bonds with one another that when someone goes, it feels upsetting. Because you can't, like, you're meeting people for the first time and you're trauma bonding, essentially.
Yeah, and you're gutted for them. Yeah. Because everyone wants but, like, you also, like, I'm happy I'm here, but I'm also sad you're gone. Yeah. But, no, that was crazy.
So, when you talked about trauma bonding, do you ever think, like, the restrictions they place on candidates are sometimes too much?
I think it's important for the TV. I think, basically, what people don't understand is, I think if you just put 20 people to do those tasks without certain aspects being done to you, you'd probably smash them and the TV would be awful. And say, like, people aren't going to make stupid comments, they aren't going to make stupid mistakes, because you're knackered. Like, you're getting up at, like, 2 to 4 in the morning.
Yeah. People don't realise that we do wake up at that time, and we still have 20 minutes to get ready. That all stuff is real.
Yeah, and then you go to bed at, like, 11. Yeah. So it's like, you're not sleeping, and then the stress of the show, obviously, is, like, you got high expectations for yourself. You have to perform well, and you could. It's weird not knowing when you're going to leave, because you could be there for 4 days, or you could be there for 2 months. Like, you have no idea what the in between is, and you don't see your friends, you don't see your family, and. So yeah, it's really is like, it would be a bad TV show, I think, if they didn't do it to you. But when you're there, sometimes you're like, why? Like, why are you you're like torturing us? But like, you get it's TV.
It's 100% understandable. Yeah. Like, otherwise it would be awful. And to be fair, from my point of view, I loved it. I do not regret one bit.
Oh no, absolutely.
Like, I wish I could go back. I wish I was in the process again to relive it, because I would love to do it again. And obviously you can't, but it would have been just awesome just to redo the whole, like, the tasks, everything, and just to meet everyone again and all that. And I think this year, I would say this, obviously I don't know, looking back on other shows, but I think we got a really good set of candidates. Like, I think everyone more or less is friends with one another. Well, we're friends with everyone, which is quite good. I think we didn't have any, like, any beef or anything with anyone, and we literally will spend time with everyone and things like that. So literally, I think the people that we met on the show and the friends that we've created are for life, which is so nice to say, because obviously you would never meet these normal people day to day in your normal life, which is quite cool.
I miss it so much. I literally, watching it back, I'm like, because it was almost a year ago now that we filmed, and it's like, it does. I preferred the filming than the actual it coming out. Like, the doing it was so much fun, and you're right, sad, can't do it again.
And I also want to talk to you about the task that's happening this evening.
Yes, very exciting.
We're on the same team. He's project manager. He's finally stepping up, getting his point of action. It's going to have some lines today.
I went for PM, I think 3 or 4 times before this task, which not one of those have been shown, which is probably a good thing, because it wouldn't do me any favours. But PM tonight, which is...
Interesting one.
Going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one. No costumes for me, which is good.
Yeah. He was known as a costume man.
And yeah, so the task was to make a VR fitness game. And I basically, I love fitness. Fitness like kind of changed my life. And I use it as a way to, because I find it really hard to relax. I don't like, the idea of lying by a pool and like chilling out is, to me, stressful. Like that to me, like, is not good. And so what I do to relax is I run or I do exercise or whatever, which I know sounds weird because you're like moving, but that is relaxing. So I thought I would be a good person to be PM because I firstly wanted to prove myself, like, because I hadn't been PM yet, but also it was a topic that I know and that I understand the like mentality behind people wanting to get into fitness or doing fitness. So yeah, it was an interesting one.
It's really cool. And what was the dynamic about you two being on the same team for the first time?
It was brilliant. So it was me, Dan, and Priyesh, and
the famous
trio. We were not only in the same team, we were in the same sub team. So it was us 3. I mean, to be honest, we came up with some absolute garbage, as you'll see on the show, but it was just like no alpha energy at all, which I know sounds ridiculous, but like makes life so much easier when you're in that stressful environment. No one's trying to one up you. You're just trying to get it done together. And that, like, a lot of the time people fail tasks on The Apprentice because there is 2 egos going and there's not enough time to have arguments and egos because you've got 20 minutes to make a character, you've got 10 minutes to come up with a name, you've got 10 minutes to pick colours. Like, it's stuff that people would take years to do. Yeah, you've got to do it in a space of 10 minutes. So it really helps, and it just means that, like, because as I said, I've never felt stress like it. I ended up getting a rash all over my body, which was from stress, because I was so stressed out by this task. But
it's stressful, No, and that's like, adding on to that, I think it's just because me, you, and Dan work so well. Because, like you said, none of us were there to argue, that we're there to win a task. We all have the same goal, and we all just bounce off each other. Like, someone says X, then we'll be like, oh, what about this one? What about this one? But, like, it's not like, oh, you step back, I'll do this, or, overpowering one another. Like, some of the other candidates are like that, which obviously you can see on TV, which is obviously facts. It's true.
It's true.
Look at week 2.
But yeah, I think we worked together well. Did we create anything good? I don't know.
But yeah, no, that's the thing.
That boardroom showdown on week 2 was hilarious when Marcus shut down Dan.
Oh my god, was brutal. I just think I've never seen anything like it, and obviously people still don't know to this day, like, the whole ins and outs of it. Like, it was just trauma for everyone. Like, for me, for Dan. Literally, I think that's the most I felt stressful in any task was in week 2. Because working with Kieran, Rajami, and us 4, and then obviously had the missing pages, the books and stuff. But then for me to get called back into the boardroom was a nightmare because it's never happened before, like, out of the blue. So, like, my heart just dropped. Like, no one even, to this day, no one will ever know how I feel.
We were sat in the back of because you get those black cars you see on the show. We were sat in the back of those, and we had just got out of the boardroom. We were like cracking open some cokes, having a Freddo, and like celebrating, like, thank God we survived another week. Anyway, knock on the. No, I think the door literally, because they're like electric doors, like beep beep beep, shut, and then knock on the door. One of the runners, Priyesh, you need to come back in, and they grab him out, take his bag out the boot, and he's back in the boardroom. And we were like, oh my god, like, didn't even know that was possible. And like, we thought once you leave, you leave, and then after that no one felt safe until you get back home. Exactly. They're gonna turn this car back around and take me back to see Lord Sugar.
Oh god, to this day, from that day I got PTSD from the boardroom. Every time I went to that boardroom, everyone would know I would not speak to anyone. Like, I literally, we get to boardroom day and I'll be like this, like, literally just do not talk, because I just could not, like, when you just think my anxiety was up the roof, because obviously it's never happened and you don't know what to expect. And like, once you've been in the boardroom, it's so intense. People don't realize, like, the boardroom is like, you're here, Lord Trigger's there, so it's not even that far apart, and it's just, especially
lights blinding you, like,
exactly. And because there's not just 3 of you, like, wherever all the other candidates have gone home, so it's extremely intense. You want to remain in the process. And obviously you want to get all your points across, but obviously Lord Sugar just wants to say how it is. Just, if you don't say it fast enough or quick enough or concise enough, he's just going to shut you down, basically. Which is true. Yeah. He just wants a straightforward answer. No, like, blabbing, like, along, like, that sort of stuff.
There's so much silence. I hate silence. Yeah. And so, like, when you're waiting outside the boardroom, you're there for like maybe half an hour, standing, sitting, whatever, in silence, and you're just there like,
sweaty palms,
and then you walk in silence, and he's just there staring at you, and you're like, oh my god. And then they move you around to make sure you're in the right position in silence, and then it's suddenly like, right, let's start. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm actually when they tell you the result of the task, that is, your heart feels like it's about to pop. Like,
oh god. And then you're like, yes, we won.
Yeah.
After that first boardroom, I was like, I'm never doing it again. Banging on the boardroom, but I thought, because at that point I was just too gassed. Absolutely gassed. So I just thought it was part of the process, but it wasn't. But yeah, no, I think that's the problem when you're in that boardroom day, is every man for themselves. Literally, you don't even think of each other as friends, because obviously you're there to survive, and everyone looks at each other with daggers. You've got like eyes like across, and everyone's just like, fuck you, that sort of stuff. I shouldn't say that, sorry, but like,
mate,
whatever.
That's gonna have to beat that out.
But yeah, no, and you'll see that like there was some juicy stuff that's happened. We'll bring out some juicy stuff if you want.
This boardroom is gonna be the worst boardroom. It is gonna be bad.
There was big fights happening, and there was a couple of big fights in the house. The two of the candidates.
I read it on the Daily Mail this morning.
Yes,
Levi and Lawrence.
Exactly.
Big showdown.
It was actually it was pretty. It was just not nice. Like, because I actually I think some people probably liked it, but when people used to go at each other in the boardroom, I found it it just made me feel a bit like, and then you're like, oh, we're going back to the house to live with everyone. Like, if they are coming back together, then this is going to be horrible. Because it can get nasty.
And I don't think the issue is, I think as you would have seen so far in the episode, all the boys so far seem okay, because obviously only 2 boys have left, whatever, but and survive. I mean, the rest are still there, and there's not been that much beef. There might have been small hiccups, like arguments, but now this is where it turns up a notch, where the girl, obviously there's not many girls left, but they're fine, but now it's the boys now start getting into loads of arguments, because obviously
that's true, actually.
And also, with this specific episode, you'll see why. Actually, because obviously this could probably talk about it. It's obviously out by then. So obviously, so this episode, obviously, with Levi and Lawrence, and what happened was, I think Lawrence said he's not going to bring back Levi back, and I think that's it. And then I think Levi was thinking he was safe, and then not safe, and then he got brought back in, so he got fired up. So I think that's the one thing that we learned is, obviously, don't tell people you're safe when you're not going to be safe, but which is fair enough. But I just felt like, obviously, I think it was just, you're in that high pressure environment, so you're thinking you're safe, then you're not safe, and then it comes to boardroom day, and then obviously you can change your mind, which is fine. Anyone's allowed to change their mind, but it's just very intense. And then obviously things got heated, fair to say.
Hotter than the sun.
And then there was a lot of tension in the house.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I've heard a similar thing from some of the other candidates about how the boardroom showdowns can go. So one of the candidates said to me that they called out another candidate for lying in the showdown. So that was, I believe it was Vanessa in a previous interview.
Vanessa
probably for Andrea.
Was it Andrea? I thought it was going to be Raja. No, sorry.
I think it was Andrea.
Was it because of the book?
Something to do with
yes. I think, I suppose Andrea, I remember this episode. Do you remember when she said she's created a book, written a book, and that's why they voted her? And then in the boardroom, she said, I didn't make it. I just worked at the school governance or something. So she said, in a way, I suppose that looked like she created a book, but she never did. But I suppose, that's all the stuff maybe can be seen as misleading. Because there was a couple of times where some candidates did lie, or they didn't, say, and obviously Baroness Brady.
Rajan had a bit of a
showdown last week where she was like, well, Rajan, you did say to the client you did X, Y, and Z, and obviously he did say, because we saw it all on TV.
That's the issue. I think you think you can get away with it, but you really can't, because it's all been recorded.
And I think there's so much that says you probably end up forgetting that you said it. I'm not going to lie.
It's days before.
Exactly. So you might have filmed on the day before and they said it and whatnot. So obviously some stuff you probably forget you said it, but you probably did. Like some stuff I probably said, I forgot I never said that, but I obviously did.
It's not AI.
A deep fake. But
thank you so much. This interview's been so brilliant so far. So what I also want to ask you is about your podcast.
Yes, Harry and Priyesh Unsupervised. And obviously, thanks to the show, we've created something great. Hopefully,
following in your footsteps. The new the ropes.
The new Anton Deck is our plan.
Brilliant.
The new duo.
No, well, we wanted to start we're not just we've got an Instagram page, and a TikTok page, but we want it to basically be a bit of a mixture between a YouTube channel, a podcast, that sort of thing. But the end goal being, we want to have a TV show. Like, that's what we would love. Obviously, it's aiming high, but you got to aim high in these things. And like, I think we just knew that we got on so well. As Priyesh said earlier, like, we've got very similar goals. We're like Priyesh has never been like, he is so generous with his time and everything to me, and I hope I'm the same to him.
Never.
That like,
no, Jake, complete opposite. no, but like exactly that.
Like,
bang on.
we want to help each other out, basically.
Yeah.
And I think that, which is why it works so well, because we're so like in line with it, but also like we take the mick out of each other. Like, Priyesh has never turned up on time in his life, like stuff like that, and it's just like it works well. So yeah, we're.
And Harry's always getting lost everywhere.
Oh no, that's you, mate. He uses. I actually don't know how you might as well just use like a proper paper map and a compass, because he uses this map that I've never seen before.
It's called Google Maps.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. It takes it every time you go the wrong way. We went to Tattoo, the restaurant Tattoo in Tottenham Court Road. He took us to a tattoo parlour in Trafalgar Square.
It's because I put it wrong.
And so we were half an hour late for lunch, and I was like, "How is this map doing?"
And they're like,
anyway, so yeah, there you go. Example.
So like, these tasks are real, actually.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, they film our real lives. It's probably worse than the
Yeah.
show. Wow, I might be in it more. That's why I want to be in it. So we have.
But yeah, no, I just think it's so fun because obviously we, like Harry said, we bounce off each other really well, and obviously we have all that similar end goals, and I think we help each other out so much. Like, he's so creative and stuff. Like, I would just think, oh my god, why didn't I not think of that? Like, as in, that's also like come up with amazing ideas, and I just think it works so well with us, and I think that's the best way to be, because obviously I haven't got anyone else that I can bounce off this with other people, so it's just phenomenal to do that.
It's incredible. So you want to be the next Ant Deck?
Hopefully,
yeah. We need to run them over. If you see them, knock them down.
That's
we need to open up that space in the industry.
Exactly. We need someone new, a breath of fresh air, don't you think? We need someone new to just.
They've been hogging that show for years.
Yeah, exactly. We're winning all these awards and stuff.
They won like the best presenters.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
10, 20 years in a row or something.
Exactly.
I mean, they are amazing.
No, they're amazing. I'm joking, but Antodek, if you're watching this,
please step aside.
Yeah, retire. But yeah, no, that's a future plan, and just to do like a lot of fun content out of it. Because I think you see a lot of like nice people do individual stuff, but duos you don't really see anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, it's true.
And like we're going to the zoo.
Yeah.
We're just going, like we're just going out and doing all these videos and like just having fun with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I think it's a strong thing of like, if you enjoy doing it and it doesn't lead anywhere, it doesn't matter, but hopefully it will. But yeah, we're going to like do the zoo. We do a lot about the episodes as well. So we go to the places where the episodes are filmed. Obviously, once the show's ending, we won't be doing that. But yeah, planning a lot of content. So
no, exactly. And obviously, that's how I think we're gonna like help each other out. Like I said, he's gonna come and work at the pub. I'm gonna help him with his business, go to the markets and stuff, and do like we're gonna do all fun stuff. So
that's really fun and really cool. But I just want to go on the zoo example. What are you exactly doing at the zoo?
The zoo, yeah.
London Zoo.
I thought you said big zoo for a second. I was like, no, big zoo.
Gonna put him in the cage with the monkeys, the gorillas. So
Priyesh is scared of animals, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Wow. No, I'm allergic to them.
You're not every animal. He also, we're on the call to London Zoo this morning, and we were like saying like how much we love the zoo and stuff like that. Priyesh like talking about dolphins, how much he loves dolphins, and like can't wait to see dolphins. All this stuff about dolphins. Type in Google, are there dolphins in London Zoo? No, there are no dolphins. And this guy was obviously just like nodding along, like yeah, you're not going to see a dolphin here, mate. But yeah, I think we're going to go there, film a bit about the animals. We're going to like interview some of the zookeepers, and just they're giving us access like pre-entry hours, so it's really cool.
Yeah, just to see them in their natural habitats, asking them all.
Not their natural. I think it's their natural habitats.
I was about to say you're going to go in the same cage as Laing.
Well, I didn't mean that.
Well, if we can, get him in there. Get him in like a meat suit. So yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Priyesh died, but we got a good video.
Yeah. It better go viral now.
Yeah. And I'll just take in all the royalties.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, one of the last things I want to ask you is, you two want to go into television and you want to become not just entrepreneurs, but you also want to become TV personalities.
Yeah.
What route, apart from your amazing work on your podcast and your YouTube channel, which I think is really cool, by the way, but what else would you like to do to slowly get into TV, and are you making any steps towards it at the moment? Absolutely.
And I think so we're trying to basically just try as many things as possible. So obviously on top of the podcast, like I'm trying to get well, so basically we work, this is another way we work really well together. Like Priyesh someone got in touch with him the other day, like to do a radio interview, and he, you know, and same with this podcast, and he got me involved. And then like, so I'm going to do some presenting on a page called Race Day TV. And the aim is to get Priyesh involved as well after I've hopefully passed my trial. But things like that. So like live presenting cricket, that's horse racing, which I don't know much about, but you don't have to, luckily. And just doing stuff like that, because I think it's so fun. And I think like one of my biggest idols, which is very lame, is Jamie Laing, and so his wife Sophie Habby, because he is like a TV personality. He's got an insane business, which is Candy Kittens, which is like the fastest growing confectionery business in the UK. He's got 2 like epic podcasts, which are like the biggest podcasts in the UK, and like he's smashing it. He's married, he's got a kid, like all this sort of stuff. You know, he's doing
ticked all the boxes.
He's ticking the boxes, and so that is like something that I've always been like, that's so cool, because I know it sounds bad, like I love this business, but I get bored. So I need like multiple things to be able to do, and I think TV's so cool, and like, we love to be on TV. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hopefully that.
As long as they don't edit me out of everything.
Like, you're cut.
Just cut half of Priyesh speaking, and then it just goes back to him.
No, it's all. I think, and also because we bounce each other well, I think that's what works. Like, it's not as if it's like 2 other people. It's just like 2 people that work really well and just, you know, are funny in that sense, because we'll just say silly stuff and hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's
really incredible. So just before, you know, we go to the closing comments of the interview, so you're inspired by Jamie Laing.
Yeah, to my sins, yeah. I've read his book as well.
You might actually see this, so you never know.
Oh, well, I hope so. I've been trying to track him down for years. So Jamie, you do see this. No, I honestly, because I used to work like as a, it sounds even worse, I used to work as like an events rep at uni, and then eventually, like when I was there for longer, I became a manager and like a senior manager, and my job was to look after guests a lot of the time on the nights out, and we used to get, you know, lots of people. And Jamie came once, and I looked after him, but this was when he was like just on Main Chelsea, like he wasn't doing anything else. He wasn't that cool, basically, at that time. And then I went to uni. The year after that, I went to a talk that he did. And that's when I learned he was doing Candy Kittens, and he was doing these podcasts and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then 2 years later, then that's when, you know, they all started kicking off and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, he started on a pretty tragic TV show. Like, not that I can talk, he, you know, and is now smashing it like that. And I think it's so cool.
Yeah. It's just so nice to see like how someone goes from one process to another. And it's just, that's what we want to try and achieve as well. Like, started from doing corporate jobs, and then we're starting our new entrepreneur business, and then doing all these other stuff to hopefully achieve to that end goal, which is our aim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you both so much, and I'm really excited for what you 2 are going to go on to do as a duo.
No, thanks for having us as well. It's been so exciting.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. So many cameras. Yeah. More cameras than The Apprentice.
Thank you both for being such great guests. It's been a phenomenal interview. Thank you both.
No.